All right, we remember that December 14th, 2020, right here, was the day the C-19 jab went out. First day, first shots came out of New York. Okay, New York equals 666. But what we're looking at here is that was right in the middle of the two once-in-a-lifetime eclipses. August 21st, 2017. And then 7 years later, April 8th, 2024. And these two eclipses made an X in America, which is a sign of the Son of Man, the Tav, the last letter in the Hebrew alphabet. And if you do the day count from eclipse to eclipse, the exact middle day in those 7-year time periods is December 14th, 2020, the day the first jab went out. Okay, December 14th, 2020. Now, you guys have seen me do multiple videos on December 14th this year, 2025, the first day that Hanukkah is celebrated. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to start from April 8th. Remember last year, the very popular eclipse, April 8th, 2024. And we're going to do a day count to December 14th, 2025. I want to show you guys something amazing. All right, as you can see here, from April 8th, 2024, the major once-in-a-lifetime solar eclipse last year, to December 14th, this year, 2025, it is exactly 615 days. 615. We go to Genesis 6:15. Remember, God declares the end from the beginning. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. Talking about Noah's Ark. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, and breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. Now remember the calculation on the ark. 300 cubits by 50 cubits by 30 cubits, right? So we take 300 times 50 times 30, the dimensions of the ark, but we do it twice. You guys remember this? Times 300 times 50 times 30, right? And you get 2025 with 8 zeros. Now, why does this hit the mark? Because Hanukkah is 8 days. And you have 8 zeros after 2025 here, hitting December 14th from the eclipse. And 8 means new beginnings. The man-child is circumcised on the 8th day. Patterns, patterns, patterns. Something that has come into my mind a couple times is December 14th the beginning? And then the 8th day is the end, which would be either December 21st or 22nd. We're going to find out, but let me show you something that's kind of interesting too. The Feast of Dedication, that's Hanukkah, is mentioned once, just once in the Bible in the book of John. Specifically the passage in John 10:22 and 23. But it's actually 10:22 that the words Feast of Dedication is only used. Watch. John 10:22. And it was at Jerusalem the Feast of the Dedication. And it was winter. And Jesus walked in the temple of Solomon's porch. So you see how 10:22 is the only verse that says Feast of Dedication. But the reason I want you to see that is because look, 10:22 22. December 22nd. December is actually the 10th month. December 22nd is what? The last day of Hanukkah, the Feast of Dedication, which is what? The first day of winter. And what does the verse say? And it was at Jerusalem, the Feast of the Dedication, and it was winter. John 10:22, December 22nd, the first day of winter, the last day of Hanukkah, the Feast of Dedication. The 8th day. So like I said earlier, is December 14th just the day it all begins. Now here's another thing. The claim that the Mayan calendar predicted the end of the world on December 21st, 1221, 2012 is a misconception. Instead, that date marked the end of a major cycle in the long count calendar. So the point is that date was December 21st. Why is that an interesting day as well? Well, that would be the 7th day of Hanukkah. And let me show you some things about that. 1221. The 12th prime number is 37, and the 21st prime number is 73. 3773. You guys remember that number or those numbers? The numerical value for Genesis 1:1, the first verse in the Bible in Hebrew, is 2701, which is 37 times 73. And when you add 2701 to its reflection, 1072, it is also 3773. 37 and 73, what they are is the values of the word wisdom in Hebrew. Wisdom equals 37 in ordinal gematria and 73 in standard gematria. Hence 3773. And so this is the very beginning of the Bible. 3773 encoded all up in there. And now it's connected to the date December 21st, 1221. Because 37 is the 12th prime number and 73 is the 21st prime number. So again, God declares the end from the beginning. So is that what we are seeing here? Another interesting thing is that number 2701, which is the numerical value of Genesis 1:1, which is 37 times 73, which is connected to December 21st, 1221, is a perfect equilateral triangle. And that perfect equilateral triangle is 73 levels. That's amazing because what is that? That's a temple. And the Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah, is about the rededication of the second temple. And we know in the New Testament that we are the temple of God. Think about that one. Now remember, Enoch, his name was Hanukkah in Hebrew, and it's from the word Hanukkah, and his name means dedicated, and that's why he's also connected to the Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah. And that's when he was raptured. Okay, Enoch. And his name equals 45. Most of you have seen this, but I want to show you another thing here. 45 is the square root of 2025, meaning 45 times 45 is 2025. Okay, God declares the end from the beginning. So all this pointing to Hanukkah 2025. But then I showed you guys if you cube 45, which means multiply 3 times, 45 times 45 times 45, you get 91125. Which can be broken down into a date, 9/11/25. Which, if you begin the new month at the full moon, as I've said, December 4th, and you go 11 days forward, you come to December 14th, which is the first day Hanukkah is started to be celebrated. So that would be Kislev 11, 9/11, 25, which is 45 times 45 times 45. But that's not what I wanted to show you. You already know that. That number, 9/11, 25, is also another thing. And, I'm not dogmatic. I'm just showing you everything. I'm laying it out on the table, what I have. If you start from the exact day that America was founded, which is the 4th of July, Independence Day, in 1776, and you do a day count all the way to December 31st, the last day of December this year, 2025, it is that number, 91125, which is 45 times 45 times 45. The very last day of December. That's bonkers, right? Another thing that I saw is that Enoch was raptured at 365 years old. That's how many days we have in our years today. So it comes to my mind, is God saying that we are going to be raptured on the 365th day of the year, December 31st? I'm just putting it on the table, showing you what I know. December 31st is not part of Hanukkah, okay? But I just wanted to show you this pattern. One thing that I can guarantee every one of you out there is this. Those who are going to be raptured are going to be raptured in the month of December in 2025. Period. We who are raptured do not go past December of 2025